Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. I'm an idiot because I actually believed I could post my 49ers Chiefs Super Bowl preview video today, even though Antonio Brown clearly had other plans for my life, Perna. The only video I posted yesterday was on my podcast channel, my Blue Wire Pods channel, and I did not mention Antonio Brown, so I did make it one day in a safe work environment. But we are back down to 0 days without an AB incident. Today, we'll talk about the Antonio Brown arrest and bail, Eli's retirement announcement, Kareem Hunt's marijuana incident, and AJ Green doesn't want to be franchise tagged. Can you believe AJ Green now getting in on the wide receiver drama by simply saying he prefers not to be franchise tagged? Oh, just couldn't stay out of the news cycle, could you, AJ Green? That's good, sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I make football videos here every day, so if that interests you, sub, like I just said. I do have Big Dick Patreon shoutouts for
Napo,
for upping to $5.
William Cruz, Nick, not big dick enough as Brandon Perna, Ciaccio,
if that's an Italian pronunciation. Brandon Perna is the real GOAT, and Fart Jones, aka Percy Harvin's Bleezy Raps. Thank you for your donations. You can support this channel, patreon.com/thatsgoodsports. Will and I are writing our Patreon-only episode. It is almost complete, and it will be up next week. Thought I could get it up Saturday, but your Patreon-only video for all $5 patrons will be up next week. The good news for Antonio Brown is that he showed up to court and posted bail on the same day that the New Orleans Saints PR pedo news came out.
In a strange,
Get the car,
strange
bro. I
week
need
for
you acting like my chaperone. Get the car.
The bad news is Antonio Brown's worst nightmare also came true. His mantra of no more white woman 2020 seems incredibly ironic now that this judge, his judge, is indeed a white woman in 2020.
Good morning, Mr. Brown.
Good morning.
The real bad news is, unlike the Saints, who allegedly provided PR advice on how to make child molestation palatable to the public, AB still has a civil lawsuit filed against him for rape allegations, which have nothing to do with the reason he was actually arrested. The crazy news is that physically attacking a delivery truck driver seems pretty insignificant compared to rape allegations and helping the organization that hid kid touchers from prosecution. Knowing the Saints gave AB a workout in December makes a lot more fucking sense now. Antonio Brown turned himself in after a warrant was issued for his arrest stemming from battery and burglary charges against a delivery truck driver. TMZ released the 911 audio, but it's not that interesting other than the truck driver confirming Antonio Brown is a black man.
He's the black guy. His name Antonio Brown.
That was news to me. He also claimed that AB was high.
Oh, absolutely. He's smoking in front of me.
And he's smoking drugs?
Which was in addition to AB and his trainer forcing their way into the truck, assaulting the man, opening the back of the truck, and dumping items from the truck onto the street, which during the 911 call the driver claimed weren't even Brown's belongings, which is why I think there are burglary charges here as well. Antonio Brown turned himself in yesterday again, spent the night in jail, or as my dad used to call it, an indoor camping trip I couldn't go on, and has been released on bond totaling $110,000 for burglary and battery charges. In today's world, I think it's time we select a word other than battery to describe unconsented physical contact with another person. Getting arrested for a battery charge makes it sound like the police busted into Brown's house, cuffed him because he was using an unauthorized non-Apple power cord to charge his iPhone. I think we can do better. Brown had to give up his guns, his passport, and will have to be monitored with an ankle bracelet, which is the most masculine of all jewelry, and the judge has ordered that he undergo a mental health evaluation like many of us have been clamoring for. This arrest, even though it's been building for months with Unexplainable AB behavior resulted from Brown's refusal to pay $4,000 for the moving truck services, which is just like the doctors, artists, and chefs prior. Brown's list of unpaid services is longer than the Saints PR department's list of words less offensive than pedophile. Brown now has to cough up $110,000, plus the $4,000 and whatever it costs to fix the damages to the van. Brown damaged the moving truck by throwing a rock at it, which, if you can pretend Lance Moore is a moving truck, looked exactly like this. Actually, wait, the result of AB throwing the rock was probably more like his incomplete pass against the Broncos. Yeah, that play is better because the end result is not a positive play. Now let's hope this is a turning point for Antonio Brown. Maybe with actual help, he can turn his life around just in time to go to jail for rape charges. Unfortunately, anyone who can make money off of Antonio Brown will claim he does not need mental help. That's what his attorneys are saying now, just like Drew Rosenhaus said for months and months and months until he realized that gravy train was coming to an end. Okay, so let's move on, let's lighten the mood. Reformed woman kicker and Cleveland Browns running back Kareem Hunt was pulled over for speeding and police found marijuana in his car. That's right, marijuana.
Are you smoking drugs?
Hey kids, you just don't wanna, so marijuana. 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 The devil's lettuce. You don't want that jazz cabbage. Now Hunt was given a speeding ticket and was not charged with marijuana possession because he claimed it was his brother's. Also because it's the year 2020 and any state who still uses marijuana as a criminal charge is un-American and can't call itself a state. Anti-weed states are now officially in rebellion and shouldn't be allowed to vote until they learn to just chill like the rest of us. Eli Manning gave his retirement speech today, and I received this live feed of Tom Brady watching the press conference.
Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant. Thank you so much.
Tom Greedy did tweet about the retirement, writing, "Today we give thanks to the Lord for our new saints. They walked by wait, sorry, that was a tweet from the real Pope who accidentally hashtagged the New Orleans Saints a couple months ago, since all their contact info is plugged into his phone due to the free PR services they provide. My apologies for mixing up other episode information. But if I may,
One Pope, two Pope, young Pope, new Pope, Leonard and Troy main Pope, never smoke the dope Pope, the only kind of hash is tag Pope."
that's a rhyme, right? Now, Tom Brady actually said, "Congrats on your retirement and a great career, Eli. Not going to lie, I wish you hadn't won any Super Bowls." What a dick you are, Tom. Hi, it's me, Tom Brady, who has more Super Bowl wins than any quarterback in NFL history, and I'm wishing I had more. And in wishing that, I'd gladly take your 2 best days away, Eli. I would take those away from you. I really would. I wish you no joy every day, Eli. Oh, Brandon, it's a funny joke Tom made. Take it easy on Tom for once. Is it a joke?
We joke around it a little bit, but I think, it's not real funny to him.
I'll say this, Brady pretending to be friends with the Mannings for his image is his best performance as an athlete. And it's more impressive than any of his Super Bowl wins. Cincinnati wide receiver AJ Green does not want the Bengals to use the franchise tag on him.
The franchise tag is not the best thing, but like I said, I'm not turning down $18 million.
Right.
And that is the most honest answer we could have gotten from AJ Green.
I'm not turning down $18 million.
I love it. Green's made $89.86 million during his 9-year career. And no, I'm not going to just call it $90 million. This show is about accuracy and facts. And the fact is, I respect the hell out of AJ Green for being like, I don't want the franchise tag, but shit, I'll play for $18 million. Even though I've already made $89.6 million, that's a fuck ton of money. I'm sorry, I don't think AJ Green was that profane about it, but that's what he meant.
I'm not turning down $18 million.
AJ Green has stated he would like to retire a Bengal. And even though that might make him the next receiver in need of a mental health evaluation, they are 3 months away from drafting Joe Burrow. So if I'm Green, I say to the organization, if you draft Burrow, I'll stay here in Cincinnati with a new 3-year deal. I want $15 million a year guaranteed, and then lace that contract with performance incentives. Because if Joe Burrow is your quarterback, you are going to feast in the passing game. Joe Burrow is a wide receiver's QB. I haven't mentioned this, but the Bengals are in the best position they have been in decades to build a great team. Not only can they take a slam dunk quarterback number 1, they have Tyler Boyd and John Ross to pair with AJ Green, if they keep Green, Joe Mixon in the backfield, and they can possibly trade Andy Dalton to get something solid in return. Dalton has 1 year left on his deal at $17 million. And I think there would be a handful of teams interested in Dalton, who is cheap for a quarterback and can play on a 1-year prove-it deal. And that's the most time I have ever spent talking about the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm not turning down $18 million.
Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, at Brandon Perna. If you want to follow me there, that's where I do my social media-ing. It's a requirement if you are trying to get ahead in the world of YouTube sports fake talking.